Hey, what's going on, everybody out there? It's Venomousfatman here. It's time for a brand new OTGT video for all of you guys out there. This time I'm talking about DC Universe Online for both PC as well as the PlayStation 3 entertainment console. So, let's get right into it. I know DC Universe has been out for quite a long time. It wasn't originally free to play, since when it was first released. However, I've only recently gotten a chance to actually play the game to really kind of get into it and find out what the big hoopla about this game is all about. So, let's get right into this. First things first, if you don't know what DC Universe Online is, it's pretty much an MMO that's dedicated to the DC Universe, franchise of superheroes, the comics and stuff. That means that you got your Superman, you got your Batman, your Wonder Woman, and stuff like that. It has a story that's centered around a lot of what's going on within the DC Universe, has to do with a lot of, preventing the future from happening, or some type of grim future from happening, in which, was it a lot of Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman kind of have to rely on, other, lesser known heroes that are scattered throughout the world that have superpowers here and there, and they want to be able to recruit them for a better cause. So, here's the cool thing about this, and what really kind of blew me away about DC Universe Online. Number one, the scale, the actual environment, the worlds, quote unquote, that you actually get to go to. And, when I was actually playing the game for the first time, you get to choose your mentor. You get to choose, certain things about your character, when you create them. My first mentor and the first character I created, I actually chose Superman as my mentor. And after you go through kind of like a little tutorial level where you're trying to escape from Brainiac's actual ship and stuff, because he's trying to collect a bunch of different heroes, different people and stuff, and use their power, to add on to his, and Superman saves you. So once I finished that mission, and I actually went to the first, they're called police departments or police precincts, but they're kind of like, little hubs and stuff, where you get to do a bunch of different things. And I walked outside the first time, and I looked at Metropolis, and got a real big sense of the scale, and everything just matched up so right. As soon as I walked out, it was like this epic music just came on. It was like, whoa, this is Metropolis. I have to completely stop what I'm doing and just stare. It's really awesome. It looks great. It feels great. You get a chance when you're making your character to choose a bunch of different, powers and stuff of what your character's going to have. My first character, I gave him flight, so I could be able to, to fly around and actually really see the cityscape and stuff like that. And it's absolutely breathtaking. They really did an amazing job, really kind of, recreating Metropolis and all the little areas, within it and stuff. Now, besides that, when you do, free-to-play model, when you don't actually pay the monthly fee and stuff, you get to actually create two characters, and you get, to do all kinds of different stuff like that. The maximum level cap, I believe, is level 30. At the current moment, I believe one of my characters is borderline and somewhere in the 20s range or whatnot, but the level cap is 30. And really, you go through a bunch of different missions and stuff, getting experience fighting enemies and things like that, interacting with a lot of DC heroes, from the DC universe. You would find characters like Batwoman, Robin, a lot of different Batman characters. Those other lesser known characters like, not second rate, but kind of like second tier, aside from the traditional Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and most of the members of the Justice League that are like the main members and stuff. You'll run in and actually help out and do missions with the Teen Titans, different people like that, different characters which you normally don't expect to see in a game or don't expect to get a lot of shine and attention. They're in this game. So if you're a big DC Universe fan, or you love reading DC comics or watching the TV shows and stuff, you're going to have a blast looking at all the little Easter eggs and nooks and crannies and surprises of what's scattered out through all the worlds. Now, some of the worlds that are in here, you get three major areas aside from all the secondary stuff and the DLC content, which you get to go to. You get to go to Metropolis, which in my opinion I think is the biggest area in the game. They're all big, but the biggest one in my opinion is Metropolis. You get to go to Gotham City. If depending on where you actually who you actually choose as your mentor, you get to either start off either in Gotham City or in Metropolis. Obviously, if you choose Batman, your first area you're going to go to is Gotham. And also Wonder Woman. Now, Wonder Woman, you actually also get to start off in Metropolis as well. You don't actually get to go to another area, but the third and final area of what they have in DC Universe Online is the Watchtower, the JLA Watchtower. Anybody who hasn't read the comics or whatnot, this is the Watchtower where the Justice League actually looks down on the Earth and actually, tries as hard as they can to actually, protect the world from different evil and such like that. So, really awesome. They're huge areas. Again, you could really easily get lost if you don't pay attention to your map or if you don't use it to mark off where you want to go, and doing different missions and stuff. Because they're just ridiculously, the sense of scale is huge. Let me put it that way. Now, really, here's one thing that has to be said about DC Universe Online. It's different. It's the same game, essentially, but it's different going from PC over to PlayStation 3 and back again. You can't switch your character between both platforms. I've tried so many times, and if there is a way, please let me know in the comment section below to actually switch to see if I can access my account on both platforms. But from my understanding, you can't. Because, two different platforms, I guess, whatever's been going on with Sony or whatnot, you're not able to do that. But the control scheme, it's vastly different. Obviously, mouse and keyboard for the PC and PlayStation 3 controller for the PlayStation 3. It feels different when you're playing. It feels like a totally different game when you're actually, jumping from one to one like that. My personal preference, I like it much more better on the PC. I think it's a lot more fluid, it feels a lot more tighter and a lot better. Using mouse and keyboard, in my opinion, rather than the PlayStation 3 controller. Your personal preference might differ, but that was what I experienced when I actually played. A couple other extra things I could say before I wrap it up. It's really awesome, really easy in order to kind of get into a big group in order to do different missions and stuff. I love that feature of it. I was actually rolling up with 3 or 4 of my friends together. We all decided to create characters on the PC and we just did a bunch of different missions. It was so much fun. It was awesome taking on some of the classic DC Universe villains and stuff. It was amazing. It was great. It was so much fun. One thing I will say though is that it's entering the commands in order to enter into a group or invite people into a group could be a little bit confusing. I would have rather them had some sort of easier way in order to invite people to a group, like if you put your target ridicule on somebody and right click and you get like a drop down menu or something like that in order to do different common actions. It would have made things a lot more smoother, faster, and easier, but it is what it is. So it's not a huge bother, but it is worth mentioning. Also, there is DLC. There's different content which you could pay for. You could actually pay the monthly fee and be able to, join all sorts of leagues, which are pretty much clans and, guilds and stuff. You could create a huge amount of different characters if you really get into the game, or if you max out your character really quickly, you could start a bunch of other new characters. And there's also other campaigns and other DLC that give you different powers, different abilities, different missions, different characters you get to interact with. There's a lot of stuff going on for DC Universe Online. Overall, bottom line is this. Even if you are not a comic book fan, you will really enjoy DC Universe Online. It's not like it borrows a lot of stuff from games like World of Warcraft and other really popular MMOs, but that's not necessarily a fault to the game. It's fun, it's awesome, and you get a great experience out of it. And if you are a comic book fan, this is a game that you have to play. Even if you're not necessarily a DC fan, let me put it this way. There's ways and different types of things scattered throughout the world and whatnot, and different items you could get to make your characters look like a Marvel superhero. I was walking around and I saw a bunch of people looking like the Incredible Hulk, Wolverine, all kinds of crazy stuff. Spider-Man, completely blew my mind. It was awesome that even though it may have not been the intention of the creators to actually do stuff like that, considering it's DC or whatnot, but just the simple fact that you're actually able to find ways to do stuff to really kind of personalize your characters and experience, the world, the DC Universe in your way and the way that you want to do it, that is awesome. It is amazing. Pretty much anybody that goes to Comic-Con probably plays this game. Let me put it that way. If not Star Trek Online, for Star Trek conventions, this would be like the main MMO for people that are comic book fans that go to things like Comic-Con or just a lot of big comic book related conventions and stuff. If you ever meet up with somebody in a comic book convention, I'm pretty sure if you ask them what's your DC Universe Online name, they will tell you their name and their character and whatnot. It would be pretty cool. Try it out. Let me know how it works out. But besides that, one thing that I do want to say, though, is that if this is this good for a DC, universe property, MMO like that for a game, I would definitely love to see if what Marvel could actually bring to the table and actually see what they could do with their characters and their world. Imagine the same level of scale and, the way that a DC universe is handled, but in like New York City with the Marvel universe. How awesome would that be? But again, that's all speculation. That's, just wishful thinking. Bottom line, DC Universe Online, if you're into comic books, even if you're not into comic books and you're just into MMOs and you want a cool MMO to kind of get into things, check this one out. It is that epic. So, with that being said, That's just my opinion, guys. Leave your comments and video responses. I don't mind. Just keep it civil. Let me know what you guys think of DC Universe Online. If you love it, hate it, some of your most favorite moments out of it, your favorite superhero, put it in the comment section below, and I will talk to you guys again soon. So, I'm Venomousfatman, the epic one. This has been an OTGT video on DC Universe Online. It is that epic of a comic book game. I will talk to you guys again soon. Peace out. Stay epic, everybody.